If you own a home in Bell Hall or you're considering a move to Mount Pleasant, but you want to try and stay close to 526, then stick around for this video. My name's Nat Wallen. I grew up here in Mount P and I've been selling homes since 1995. This video will have a few parts. I'll start with the location, and then I'll share some stats, and then a few fun things to do nearby. So again, stay if you can. Bell Hall is on what I would consider to be the left side of Mount Pleasant. And as you can see, it's close to 526, which is our half loop that connects Mount Pleasant to Daniel Island, and then to North Charleston, and finally to the south side of West Ashley. Coming from downtown Charleston over the Ravenel Bridge, you'll stay in the left-hand lane and head north on Highway 17. Now, to get to Bell Hall, you can either go to 526 and get off on Long Point Road, or you'll take Mathis Ferry Road to Whipple. LTP is a combination tennis, pickleball, and swim center located at the corner of Mathis Ferry and Whipple Road. This is actually the old Wando, now called Lucy Beckham. It's our second high school in Mount Pleasant. And as we continue down Whipple Road, there's the Mount Pleasant Rec Center. We'll take a left at the end of Whipple onto Long Point, and then Bell Hall is down on the right before you get to 526. If you own property here in Bell Hall, you already know 526 is a big selling point because you can get to the airport pretty easily and you can avoid 17 traffic, which can be a bear at times. Now, if you pass the Waffle House on Long Point Road, you've just gone too far. The easiest way to explain the layout of Bell Hall is that it has this main boulevard that takes you in. The beginning of the neighborhood is bordered by commercial property, so there are some attorneys there and some other businesses on the way in on the right-hand side. And semi-recently, they built these homes that are nestled in with these businesses. And I wouldn't say this is a live-work community, as it's more that you'd get to this small cluster of homes by making your way through the parking lot, which again, we don't see a whole lot of that here. All in all, there are 7 different subsections to Bell Hall. In the front of the neighborhood, there are homes that were built in the mid-1990s and early 2000s. And if you're a buyer watching this video and we start to look at homes together of this vintage, it'll be important to understand the age of the roof and other mechanicals like water heaters and HVACs. And of course, if you plan to sell one of these homes, the age of these things also has an effect on value. And if you decide you'd like my help, I would invite you for a quick Zoom meeting. There's a link in the description so we can talk about the current market and really what to expect. All right, I'm going to come back to the amenity center in a moment, and for now, let's continue back toward Hibben. Hibben is completely different than the rest of Bell Hall, as the architecture is really more geared toward homes you may find in the South with big porches and gas lanterns, things like that. Hibben in Bell Hall is highly desirable, but keep in mind, these homes don't offer large yards, and they are untraditional for most homes in Bell Hall because, well, many of them are alley-fed in Hibben, meaning the driveways are in the back. Now let's talk numbers, and please know this before I do. The market changes, so quoting prices here, of course, will change. I'll start with the least expensive home that sold in the last 6 months. It was in Rice Bay, and it had 3 bedrooms and 2 baths with a selling price of $640,000. The most expensive home that sold in the last 6 months was a 3,577 square foot home that was listed for $2,875,000 and it sold for $2.6 million. Now that sold for $731 a square foot, and it took them 31 days to do so. And so this makes this neighborhood comparable to places like Ion with the square footage price, and even Daniel Island, which isn't too far away. So all in all, Bell Hall has a little something for everyone. The least expensive homes are for the most part slab foundations, and they have vinyl siding. There are a few marshfront homes in the very back of the neighborhood as well. And then we have Hibben, which is kind of a mix between, like I said, Ion and Daniel Island. Now let's take a look at the amenity center. I'm here at the amenity center. The pool is right on the other side of that building. Let me show it to you. Just one sec. I'm gonna be careful here. There are kids on the playground, so I'm not gonna go too close to that. Don't wanna make anybody nervous, of course. The Homeowners Association fees in Bell Hall are $668 a year. You can see the pool there, it's kind of shaded. Off to the left,
Kind of hard to see, but there is a play park right there. And to the top left of the screen is the volleyball court. And as you can see, there are tennis courts, which are likely pickleball courts at this point. Most of them are. So homeowners associations in Mount Pleasant, very common. You get common area power, you know, the landscaping around the sign. There's a newsletter for the neighborhood, I'm sure. There's a directory for the neighborhood, I'm sure. And you get access to, you know, this really nice amenity center. Not sure if I mentioned the fees are $668 a year. And I think it's a pretty good value. Someone asked me today what homeowners association fees are in Mount Pleasant. Generally, they are between $400 and $1,200. I have seen a neighborhood that's as high as $1,650. And yeah, so, oh, getting some messages here. I better land this thing. Anyway, this is the amenity center for Bell Hall. Very nice. And my drone is automatically coming back, which I like. So thanks for joining me. There is going to be a link to all of the homes for sale in the description. So if you're curious about just this neighborhood and really any of my neighborhood tour videos, I include links in the descriptions for all the homes available in the neighborhood. And if you click the link and there are no homes, that just means there are no homes for sale. But here we go. Come on back, drone.
Now, I would give this neighborhood a pretty high walk score as well because Bell Hall Shopping Center is just right across the street. They have a Starbucks, a few good local restaurants, a Harris Teeter grocery store, and plenty of small retail offerings from local business owners. There's also an elementary school nearby, and as we already discussed, it has great access to 526, which certainly helps real estate values. Thanks for watching, and look for the links in the description. You'll find all of them there below. And again, I have found the easiest and best first step is a Zoom meeting. Just let me know how I can help. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe as well, of course, so you don't miss the next neighborhood overview video. Thanks.